Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Monday, August 16th, at 3:26 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 531 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. The only way to stop Cocaine Mitch is to kill the filibuster. A masked vigilante on TikTok is revealing the identities of trolls on the platform, claiming to be able to find someone's real identity in 7 to 8 clicks. Nigeria's Kano state moves to ban mannequin heads on Islamic grounds. The Department of Defense could be housing 30,000 Afghan refugees in locations like Fort McCoy in Wisconsin and Fort Bliss in Texas, report. Woman nearly shoves man onto subway tracks in unprovoked attack. Actor suspected of participating in Capitol attack arrested in California. Blacks continue moving out of Detroit, creating 2 new majority suburbs. Detainee says China has secret jail in Dubai, hold to Ayers. China's state media mocked the U.S. withdrawal in Afghanistan, saying the Taliban takeover was more smooth than the presidential transition in the U.S. The Afghan embassy in India sent out a tweet calling Afghan President Ashraf Ghani a traitor who screwed and ed everything up. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Chicago shooting, family grieves after girl, 7 killed, 6-year-old sister hospitalized after being shot on Northwest Side, WLS-TV. The Delta variant is just one of the clouds hanging over China's economy, CNN. The fan-equipped Zephyr Pro mouse is much cooler than the original, The Verge. Early indicators suggest Democrats' House majority is in jeopardy, Yahoo News. Jay-Z applying for sports betting license in NY State, TMZ. U.S. stocks trading lower prior to Monday's opening bell, Fox Business. Chaotic scenes at Kabul airport as Afghans and foreign nationals flee Taliban, CNBC. Travis Barker flies on a plane for the first time since 2008 crash, NME. Malaysia's Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin and cabinet resign, palace confirms, CNBC. Japan's economy bounced back ahead of the Olympics, data shows, BBC News. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Has anything about Ben Affleck changed over the years? Read this if you always pee just in case, even if you don't have to go. 17 black-owned food and drink brands you can shop online. John Oliver shows how hackers could literally seize control of your ass. Texas Supreme Court sides with Governor Abbott, temporarily blocks local mask mandates. Alleged car thief gets the prize of his life from UFC fighter wearing a fanny pack. Biden administration to permanently boost food stamp benefits by 25%. Jen Psaki reveals how she deals with Peter Doocy when the cameras are off. Tour bus crashes on New York State Thruway, injuring 57. Death toll from Haiti earthquake soars to 1,297, thousands more injured. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Crews try to conserve bees at a West Omaha home. Bus drivers quit jobs in first week of school. Woman startup crafting business thrives. Man desperate to locate stolen motorcycle. University rethinks sexual assault services. Vintage race car with long family history stolen. First locally trained Zen Buddhist priest ordained. Tugfist event ties Illinois and Iowa together. Bus crashes injuring 57 people. FWC offers reward to find person shooting deer. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. Kabul's sudden fall to Taliban ends U.S. era in Afghanistan. Behold Barack Antoinette. Now going viral, meeting online friends in real life. Michael J. Fox reviews a thoughtful memoir on the challenges of living with disability. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Jason Chaffetz, dear Republican Trump haters, what did you get for your trade? Liz Peek, Biden failing, as crises mount, Americans turn gloomy, here's why. Rep. August Pfluger, Afghanistan reveals the Biden doctrine, hear no evil, see no evil, stop no evil. Psaki out of the office as Biden remains silent on Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. Fred prompt tropical storm warning for Florida Panhandle, heavy rains, dangerous storm surge expected. Death toll of powerful earthquake in Haiti soars to 1,297. Texas sports bar shooting, at least 3 dead, 2 wounded, authorities say. Malaysian PM resigns after failing to get majority support. Colorado deputies will be at schools due to tensions over mask mandate. Kabul airport, 3 killed by gunfire outside terminal building, report says. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Monday, August 16th. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Panic in Kabul, 3 stowaways fall to their deaths from plane and 5 others are killed. Afghanistan, Taliban strengthens its grip on the country with gunmen patrolling streets of Kabul. Ending pandemic isolation rules may not cause drastic spike in COVID cases, Sage advisor claims. Crying Afghan girl shares fears of dying slowly in history as her country is seized by Taliban. Coronavirus and flu vaccines could be combined this winter. Couple kept quiet about 12.4 euro millions win, then revealed it to 30 lucky family and friends. Coronation Street and the Tourani star Dilys Watling dies age 78 after suffering long illness. Brits beg for help as government races to get 4,000 out of Kabul. Insul gunman was a ticking time bomb hooked on steroids. U.S. ambassador flees Kabul embassy with flag as Americans shelter in place. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. Live updates, reports of several dead, chaos at Kabul airport amid scramble to flee Taliban. The latest, Russia to evacuate some, not all, staff in Kabul. Bolsonaro worked to shake Brazil's faith in vaccines, but even his supporters are racing to get their shots. Chaos as thousands flee Afghanistan after Taliban takeover. Veteran opposition leader wins Zambia's presidential race. Israeli firefighters work to contain blaze outside Jerusalem. Death toll in floods that hit northern Turkey climbs to 70. Afghanistan's collapse leaves allies questioning U.S. resolve on other fronts. Afghan government collapses as Taliban sweeps in, U.S. sends more troops to aid chaotic withdrawal. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Afghanistan Live News, desperate crowds at Kabul airport as Afghans try to escape Taliban. Kabul airport, chaos and panic as Afghans and foreigners attempt to flee the capital. Let them be kids. Is free-range parenting the key to healthier, happier children? Britain's reenactors return to the battlefields after COVID, a photo essay. Summer of Gold, how the 1996 Olympics inspired a generation of female athletes. We see silence filled with fear, female Afghan journalists plead for help. Malaysian Prime Minister resigns but remains interim leader. Mellow has the horror genre lost its ability to shock? Children caught in COVID culture wars as U.S. politicians defy health advice. Joan Rivers and Barbra Streisand, the myth of their lesbian play. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Afghanistan updates, chaos at Kabul airport, world's response. Deputy critically wounded, gunman killed in Michigan chase. North Carolina is child bride destination, bill could end it. Jerusalem covered in smoke as wildfire rages outside city. Trudeau triggers Canadian election, voting day September 20th. Husband of woman killed in Texas Walmart mass shooting dies. Gerd Müller, the best striker in history, dies at 75. 7-year-old fatally shot as gun violence rocks 3 major U.S. cities. Man stabbed at LA anti-vaccination protest leaves hospital. Watch, huge clouds of smoke rise from Utah wildfire. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Zambia election, Hakainde Hichilema beats President Edgar Lungu. Afghanistan, U.S. takes control of Kabul airport to evacuate staff from country. Japan's economy bounced back ahead of the Olympics, data shows. Nigeria's Kano state moves to ban mannequin heads on Islamic grounds. There and back again, the epic adventures of China's wandering elephants. The Zero Power sewage plant inspired by cows. India's dancing cop becomes internet star. Why is Israel demolishing homes in East Jerusalem? Haiti earthquake, rescuers search for survivors as death toll climbs to 1,297. Would you let a robot lawyer defend you? The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. AP Top Stories August 15th p. On this day, August 16, 2011. Hospitalizations hit highs for those under 50, Texas Supreme Court blocks orders allowing masks, live COVID-19 updates. Life-threatening Fred, again a tropical storm, looms over Florida ahead of Tropical Depression Grace. Were all of our sacrifices wasted? War veterans react to stunning Afghanistan collapse. More found dead in rubble after Haiti earthquake. Kabul streets tense as Taliban take control. Taliban takes Kabul after government collapses. Death toll soars in aftermath of Haiti earthquake. Heartbreaking, Kim Kardashian reacts to American Idol Sia Mercado's newborn baby taken by authorities. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. 5 people injured after they were hit by a car in Hollywood Hills. Los Angeles Police Department officer suspended for allegedly striking suspect who was already in custody. LA County coronavirus surge continues as schools prepare to reopen. Actor arrested in Burbank on suspicion of role in U.S. Capitol riot. LA City Council president decries violence that erupted at anti-vax rally over the weekend. California recall campaign hits high gear as Newsom tries to rally Democratic base. Here we go again, doctors dread a 4th wave of COVID at Torrance Hospital. We're here to stay, despite isolation and racism, Black Americans feel at home in California's desert. LA County reports more than 4,200 new coronavirus cases as Delta variant continues to spread. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Monday, August 16, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Afghan asylum seekers will be allowed to flee Taliban to Britain without a passport. United Kingdom's ambassador to Afghanistan is still in Kabul personally processing visa applications. New Zealand to deploy aircraft to pick up citizens from Kabul as well as Afghans who assisted New Zealand government during 20-year Defence Force deployment. U.S. troops fire in air to scatter Afghan civilians at Kabul airport. Taliban bans COVID-19 vaccine in POC-DA, report. China, Russia embassies stay put in Afghanistan as U.S. and allies flee Taliban. 800 people evacuated from Kabul aboard a single C-17 cargo jet, reports. China and Russia prepare to accept Taliban rule of Afghanistan. Beijing officials pose with leaders of militants and Kremlin has no plans to evacuate its embassy due to good relations. All U.S. embassy personnel have evacuated, the State Department said. Canada will order mandatory vaccination for all federal workers. Vaccines work. Since the start of Canada's vaccination campaign in mid-December, less than 1% of COVID-19 cases have been among people who are fully vaccinated, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said. U.S. forces will take over air traffic control at Kabul airport. Death toll from 7.2 magnitude earthquake in Haiti rises to over 1,200 people. United Nations to hold emergency meeting on Afghanistan. Siberian wildfire could become biggest in recorded history. The next headlines are from Forbes. August is the month for 3-2-1 farmers market Succodash. 800 people, one jet, flight trackers reveal heroic, desperate effort in chaotic Afghanistan evacuation. U.S. forces resort to aerial firing as chaos unfolds at Kabul airport. Honus Wagner card sells for $6.6 million, the third record baseball card sale in a year. Invading Westchester County in the 2022 Jeep Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer. The bigger picture behind China's tech crackdown, ambition to achieve tech supremacy. 4 outs from perfection, has Cleveland Indians' Tristan McKenzie turned the corner? NASA is recruiting people for a Mars simulation to understand the physical, mental, and operational challenges of long-duration space missions. As Lebanon's electric grid collapses, dozens of hospital patients could die due to lack of power. BTS, aespa, Taeyeon, Brave Girls and BTS again, the 10 biggest songs in Korea in July. The next headlines are from Nature.com. The hashtags that brought Black scientists together. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,725,179,418 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Universal Music China plans major expansion of local recording operations. Why? The Last Man gets Disney Plus release date in the UK, Global Bulletin. The Playmaker Munich drops Woka International trailer ahead of Haugesund exclusive. New Lakeside studio planned for Western Sydney. Sinkhole gives Korea box office its second highest weekend of the year. Ridish Deshmukh, Tamanna Bhatia star in Netflix India's quirky romance Plan A Plan B exclusive. They will ban all art, Afghan filmmaker Sarah Karimi urges protections for women and artists from Taliban. The White Lotus finale recap, who's in the box? Nancy Griffith, In Memoriam, an appreciation of folk and Americana music's sweet but gritty beacon. Johnny Depp says Hollywood is boycotting him in first interview since losing libel case. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. U.S. Embassy staff in Afghanistan are evacuated to Kabul's airport. Don't focus on kids' weight gain, focus on healthy habits instead. Biden's choices in Afghanistan were complicated, so is the fallout he faces. Australia's worst day of pandemic sees restrictions tighten. Death toll nears 1,300 in Haiti after massive earthquake. Afghanistan falls to the Taliban again as the US-backed government collapses. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani leaves country as Taliban forces enter Kabul. A global guide for parents, how your kids can have fun without stressing you out. Dear Dad, it's just a pinch. Readers share letters inspired by vaccine hesitancy. Wall Street is paying over $100,000 to junior bankers. For many, that's not enough. The following headlines are from the week. Humbled by Afghanistan. Afghan officials, security forces reportedly started selling out to the Taliban in early 2020. Samantha Downing recommends 6 books with unsavory narrators. U.S. military takes control of Kabul airport, aims to evacuate 5,000 civilians a day. Sri Lankan teen uses scraps to build a solar power tuk-tuk. Texas capital floods in brief deluge. At least a dozen Afghan pilots have fled from the Taliban, landing in Uzbekistan. GOP takes down 2020 page touting Trump's historic peace agreement with the Taliban. Under Taliban rule, residents of Kunduz fear the future, people are scared. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Did the moon ever have a magnetosphere? If the first black holes collapsed directly, could we detect radio signals from those moments? The first images and videos from the double Venus flyby. These are the news headlines for today, Monday, August 16th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Born under the sign of Ophiuchus. Red dwarf planets may be safe from superflares. July 2021 Earth's hottest month on record. Find M4 by the Scorpion's Heart. Moon is by Antares, Scorpion's Heart, August 15th, 16th and 17th. The next news is from Politico. UK Defence Secretary, British troops not going back to Taliban-controlled Afghanistan. Inflation is up, should you care? Israel recalls top diplomat from Poland citing anti-Semitic restitution law. European countries scramble to rescue staff as Taliban takes Afghanistan. Lay out the strategy, corporate America grows impatient on Biden's China trade review. The GOP waves white flag in the same-sex marriage wars. Opinion why the U.S. should have predicted the speed of Afghanistan's collapse. Clearly botched, Biden White House under assault on Afghanistan drawdown. Texas Supreme Court backs governor on mask mandates. Trudeau injects vaccine hesitancy into spotlight of Canadian election. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Playing on Eddie was so tough, bets to retire after 350th game. Vaccine target might not get QLD off the lockdown merry-go-round. Bustling Darwin, once a COVID-free oasis, stopped in its tracks by new case. Not doing its job, council watchdog sparks press freedom concerns. Experts back tough new restrictions as only way to avoid disastrous outbreak. Right-wing extremism weaponizes democracy against itself. Crowds at games set to supersede home ground advantage. He's been enormous, Walker credits Curry for dazzling debut season. It's rubbish, Ansley slams building criticism of referees ahead of finals. How quick-thinking medics averted FIFA tragedy. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Market snapshot, U.S. stock futures slip from record levels as Chinese data, Afghanistan situation takes spotlight. Kelly Blue Book, the best new and used cars for tall people. NerdWallet, insurance companies are bailing in risk areas, what to do if your homeowner's policy isn't renewed. Nerd Wallet, 9 alternative to overpriced rental cars. Auto Trader, these are the car brands with the most inventory. Next Avenue, why won't anyone hire this 60-year-old? Crypto, Walmart says it's hiring director to shape cryptocurrency strategy. Market Extra, what the Afghan government's collapse might mean for the U.S. stock market. The Wall Street Journal, Hyatt to buy resort company Apple Leisure Group for $2.7 billion. T-Mobile investigating claim of data breach affecting nearly all its U.S. customers. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Madras crosses 1,000 mark in patents generated in India and abroad, NDTV. Scientists should come up with out-of-the-box solutions to address various challenges faced by mankind. VP, The Week. Madras crosses 1,000 mark in patents generated by researchers and faculty in India, abroad, Dev Discourse. Egypt's new Innovators Support Fund gives young inventors a boost, Alphaner Media. Artificial intelligence as the inventor of life sciences patents, intellectual property, United States, Mondac News alerts. Biden executive orders approach to SEP sells out American small businesses and innovators, IPWatchdog.com. The next headlines are from Quartz. Taliban victory, Roblox earnings, new dinosaurs. The U.S. is digging into its tax toolkit to rebuild its rare earth industry. Vaccine passports have arrived in cities with varying degrees of strictness. Nigeria's hush puppy on screen, Israel in the O, visa-free travel. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Funniest most insightful comments of the week at Tech Dirt. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. PJ Washington. Heels. Eric Bledsoe. LiAngelo Ball. Jason Momoa. Wyndham Championship. Travis Barker plane crash. Colts. Barcelona. Afghanistan. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Enough is enough. MLS side Vancouver Whitecaps condemn apparent racially motivated attack on 3 youth players. U.S. failure in Afghanistan handed country to Taliban, Moscow says, claims American hegemony declining as Russia and China on rise. Nearly 1 million Israelis have got their third COVID-19 dose as WHO reiterates call for moratorium on such booster shots. Unverified video, Afghans reportedly plunged to their deaths after trying to cling to U.S. military plane taking off from Kabul. In Australia, Melbourne extends lockdown, reimposes curfew and new measures to curb COVID cases. Mayor of key Ukrainian city found dead from gunshot to chest, amid government's crackdown on pro-Russian opposition party. EU coordinating evacuation of Afghan staff as chaos grips Kabul. West has done what it's done, UK Defence Secretary breaks down as he explains some people won't get back from Afghanistan. US sanctions push Iran's oil output to 40-year low. What about non-binary skaters? Skating bosses face immediate questions after releasing new rules for transgender competitors. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. It is more relaxed than I anticipated. Bankers abandon suits and ties amid post-COVID return to office. Shocking and dehumanizing discrimination against the unvaxxed is about to make life very difficult. Watch, 100 as of U.S. citizens scramble aboard C-17 as Taliban ready to declare Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. How factor investing works. UK Prime Minister recalls Parliament from summer recess over Afghanistan. The gradual death of EU coal production. Former Central Intelligence Agency officer, the most infamous and devastating press conference ever held by an American president. Lockdown created 1 million new alcoholics in England. Why the Nara secrecy over the secret JFK records? Tropics awaken with 3 storms in focus. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Kabul the day after the Taliban takeover. Indian state brings COVID vaccines to migrant workers' doorstep. Death toll rises to 70 from Turkey floods, 47 reported missing. Deaths, gunshots reported at Kabul airport as chaos continues. Taliban takes over Kabul, investors worry about the neighborhood. 4 Palestinians shot and killed in Israeli army raid in Jenin. Bring them to safety, desperate pleas from Afghan Australians. Dr. Congo accepts U.S. military help against ADF militia. Misused, abused, India's harsh terror law under rare scrutiny. As the Taliban seized cities, they sent women home. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Jen Psaki takes a week of vacation as Taliban seizes Afghanistan. U.S. government, thousands of Americans stranded in Afghanistan. GOP Rep Van Drew calls for Biden resignation over Taliban takeover, one of the darkest, most embarrassing days for our country. Obama's former ambassador to Afghanistan, I question Biden's ability to lead our nation. Dan Crenshaw rips Jack Dorsey as Taliban representative tweet freely, why do they get an account? Biden sent another 1,000 forces to Kabul amid chaos, bringing total to 6,000. Biden Saigon, videos reveal utter chaos at Kabul airport as Taliban conquers Afghanistan. Joe Biden remains hiding at Camp David after Afghanistan collapses, may address nation in the next few days. OC Register endorses Larry Elder over Gavin Newsom in California recall. Watch, hundreds protest outside White House as Afghanistan falls to Taliban. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Metabolism does not slow down in midlife as is commonly believed, says study. Boy raises $700,000 for hospice by camping out for 500 nights after dying man gives him a tent. Amaranth is a health trend 8,000 years old that could feed the world. This week's inspiring horoscopes from Rob Bresney's Free Will Astrology. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Monday, August 16th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Convicted con man who served time for grand larceny successfully sues his victims for $12 M and wins. Rep Van Drew calls for Biden's resignation amid Taliban takeover in Afghanistan. Wall Street is paying over $100,000 to junior bankers. For many, that's not enough. North Carolina is child bride destination. Bill would raise the minimum marriage age from 14 to 16. 7-year-old dies from rare brain-eating amoeba tied to California lake. Jean-Claude Van Damme is accidentally involved in the theft of a loot worth €2 million. Millions stolen from health fund spent at adult website. Pineapple juice ruled out as the cause of cow den beef mystery puddle. Billy Crystal got super stoned inside an MRI machine after eating too many weed gummies, then asked his doctor for Taco Bell. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. The internet is disappearing, but you can help save it. Everything you need to know about Ola's new electric scooter. Uber's doomed, and so are the cities that supported it. Apple asked to pay $300 min LTE patent infringement case. Why driving an electric vehicle doesn't make you a good person. This plugin adds amazing audio effects to your music or sound projects for under $30. Learn the most popular project management approaches in this training package. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Monday, August 16th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. The first 24 hours, Tribune photos of the Parley's Canyon fire. Parley's Canyon fire blaze is 10% contained, but threat remains high. Biograd Patrick Fishburne advances to the Corn Ferry Tour finals. Taliban sweeps into Afghanistan capital after government collapses and president flees. The Triple Team, unlocking Udoka Azubu's innate talents, Jarrell Brantley's Summer League struggles. Parley's Canyon fire forces thousands to evacuate in Summit County. Summit Park, Pinebrook remain under evacuation orders due to Parley's Canyon fire. Residents fleeing Parley's Canyon fire take shelter at Park City High School. Utah reservoirs run out of water, raising concerns about future water availability. Bayou quarterback Darren Hall pulled a play from Zach Wilson's book, Will It Pay Off? The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Samsung is using AI to design a smartphone chip. Will others follow? A simple software fix could limit location data sharing. Russian intelligence services are working with ransomware gangs, report says. Lamborghini introduces rare hybrid electric Countach sports car. Sports car manufacturer debuts world's first all-electric high-performance hypercar. T-Mobile is investigating an alleged data breach that would affect 100 million users. Fight piracy with a blockchain-based bounty system, suggest Microsoft researchers. Contractor accuses Huawei of stealing technology, pressuring them for a backdoor. The case against working remotely full-time. Debian 11 Bullseye released as stable. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. 4 injured in car crash in the Fairgrounds neighborhood. Cardinal Raymond Burke placed on ventilator after testing positive for COVID. St. Louis County mother continues encouraging vaccine after her daughter's COVID fight gets national attention. Vehicle for Beth Alto couple, child killed in crash. 2 women shot and killed in Ferguson home Saturday night. Nolan Arenado homers in 3rd straight, Cards finish sweep of Royals. Game over, Westerners rush to leave Kabul, rescue Afghans. Former Red Blood, Ill mayor pleads guilty for lying to FBI. Missouri reaches 600,000 COVID cases over the weekend. False, conspiracy theory that COVID-19 vaccine spike proteins are cytotoxic debunked by experts. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. What they want most is security. Local Afghan native reacts to Taliban takeover. Man trapped under car rescued, arrested in Grantville. Man arrested in Vista homicide case identified. World War II vet parachutes out of plane to celebrate 100th birthday. Search continues for possible missing swimmer in Carlsbad. Biden team surprised by rapid Taliban gains in Afghanistan. Tatis Jr. back for Padres in RF, rips 2 hours in return. Some areas of San Diego County see light rainfall. Here are the most and least affordable cities for first-time homebuyers. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. China sent its fighter jets to Russia. FNSS complete design perfection process for its new medium tank. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Monday, August 16, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Residents protest against Great Highways reopening to car traffic. U.S. decision on 3rd COVID vaccine expected within 2 weeks. Dixie Fire, PG&E warns of potential power shutoffs for parts of Bay Area. Costs of the Afghanistan war, in lives and dollars. Man points gun at woman over parking dispute at Menlo Park Safeway, police. Red flag warning in effect for parts of Northern California, what to know. Police activity reported near Highway 12 in Santa Rosa. Game over, Westerners rush to leave Kabul, rescue Afghans. August child tax credit payments issued, here's why yours might be delayed. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Global shares slip amid pandemic, Afghanistan worries. Lava streams from Indonesia's Mount Merapi in new eruption. Cam Thomas scores 36 points, Nets beat Spurs 104-100. Ex-Khmer Rouge official appeals genocide verdict in Cambodia. I cried, Afghanistan war veterans proud of service, angry over outcome as Taliban seize control. Afghans veer return to brutal rule despite Taliban vows. Sink or swim, Fox Lake cardboard boat races launch day of fun. Taliban sweep into Afghan capital after government collapses. Trudeau triggers Canadian election, voting day September 20th. How dispute over placement of American flags led to death threats in McHenry County Village. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Linda 21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone 1621, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.8 m, depth, 26.2 km, in South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands August 16, 2021, 5:46 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Grace 21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone A21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Fred 21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Chile. Drought is ongoing in Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania. Drought is ongoing in Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Monday, August 16th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. More scattered rain expected Monday. Rail yard vapor release causes foul odor for some Houston area communities. Thousands flock to Afghanistan airport in attempt to flee country as Taliban take control. Unvaccinated 18-year-old in intensive care unit battling COVID. Texas Supreme Court temporarily halts mask orders in Dallas and Bexar counties. Afghanistan updates, another 1,000 U.S. troops heading to Kabul, bringing total to 6,000. Third dose of COVID vaccine authorized for some. Here's what you need to know about boosters for all. Grace track shifts farther south, Fred now tropical storm again. Haiti, death toll of magnitude 7.2 earthquake soars to 1,297 as tropical storm approaches. 80-year-old man dead after party boat capsized on Lake Conroe, Texas Parks and Wildlife says. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. The latest, Uzbekistan studies reports of Afghan plane crash. Exclamation point, golden retriever demonstrates epitome of relaxation in summer. The latest, Australia sends jets to fly personnel from Kabul. Taiwan reports aid to domestic, 2 imported cases. Explainer, Western states face first federal water cuts. President Widodo says pandemic changed Indonesia's culture. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Indigenous peoples need recognition, reciprocity and a new social contract. What might help save our planet? Different approaches to desertification. UN's ultimatum to staff and diplomats, get vaccinated or go hungry. Afghanistan, Guterres urges restraint as Taliban reach Kabul, UN Security Council set to meet Monday. From the field, the pollution challenge facing the dragon's jewels of Vietnam. Thailand flexes financial muscle to grapple with climate crisis. 7.2 magnitude earthquake strikes Haiti, UNICEF set to reach children, families with humanitarian aid. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Taliban enters Kabul, Afghan president flees, surrender negotiations underway. Learn about the group taking over Afghanistan. DHS bulletin says opposition to COVID mandates is potential domestic terrorism threat. Taliban seen flying captured military helicopters over Afghanistan. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. She called racism on fellow cops and made a ton of enemies. Mary Trump rails against awful Meghan McCain and weak Uncle Donald. The Afghanistan I fought in for the US was always a lie. Ukraine bans all Russians from massive Moscow-style state sell-off. I wear Everlane sports shirt to the gym and to the office. Rich Little doesn't just impersonate Richard Nixon, he supports him. 9/11 Museum co-founder wanted it to be critical of America's wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. How the Supreme Court flunked a math test on gerrymandering. Take a car out for a spin in your next puzzle grid. The next headlines are from the New York Post. U.S. struggles to get Americans out of Afghanistan amid chaotic evacuation. Over a dozen people shot during bloody night in NYC. Shots fired at Kabul airport as Afghans try to flee Taliban rule. North Carolina attempts to outlaw child weddings. Fred strengthens slightly as it heads to U.S. coast. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Incoming NY Governor Kathy Hochul facing huge political hurdles, short turnaround for 2022 campaign after replacing Cuomo. CIT, chaos at Kabul airport as Taliban takes over city. Death toll from Haiti earthquake rises to more than 1,000. Man who invited hundreds to funeral of wife killed in El Paso Walmart shooting dies 2 years later. Roger Federer to miss US Open, out many months. Olympian Jack Woolley returns home after violent, random attack, he says in update. Muhammad Ali's grandson wins pro boxing debut with first-round TKO. Afghanistan's long history of war and strife, timeline. With collapse of Afghan government, 20-year-long U.S. odyssey draws to a close. Man, 80, dies after Texas party boat capsizes, sending dozens tumbling into lake, including children. The following headlines are from military.com. We lost everything, as Kabul falls and more U.S. troops rush to aid the evacuation, time runs out for Afghan interpreters. Why the U.S.-trained Afghan National Army have been defeated with ease by the Taliban. Blinken says Kabul embassy evacuation orderly. Judge rejects secret submission in suit over teen's death. They are coming, U.S. diplomats await flights out of Kabul as the Taliban advance and fear spreads in the capital. Taliban enter Kabul, await peaceful transfer of power. Japan marks 76th anniversary of World War II defeat, no Suga apology. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. GOP state lawmakers say plan for spending $2.8 billion in federal coronavirus relief is loaded with Democratic pork. 47 shot, 5 killed in weekend gun violence through Sunday afternoon. Girl, 7, killed, younger sister injured in Northwest Side shooting. Crowd attends vigil honoring 15-year-old Chicago girl found dead in Oak Park. Melissa should still be here. Woman killed, second person injured in Lakeview after being struck in a hit and run. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Spain sizzles in crushing heat as fires blaze. Explainer, why are earthquakes so devastating in Haiti? Fire near Jerusalem forces village evacuations. Lobster boat tracking coming to protect whales, fishery. Japan braces for more rain after floods, landslides. Singapore zoo breeds first panda cub. Discovering Slovenia's underground labyrinths, one cave at a time. At least 304 dead, 1,800 hurt as powerful quake slams Haiti. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Monday, August 16th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Saved by summer snow. How guerrilla gardening can change your city. Honey's eternal shelf life, explained. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Pritchard, Mitchell among standouts at NBA Summer League. 4 Palestinians killed in shootout with Israeli forces. 3 tropical systems impacting U.S., Caribbean and Bermuda. California fire threatens homes as blazes burn across West. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Horoscopes August 16, 2021, Angela Bassett, focus on what you can accomplish this year. Bridge, August 16, 2021. Word Game, August 16, 2021. Ask Amy, he blames me for stealing him from his wife. Harriet Cole, I accidentally sent her my text complaining about her. Miss Manners, my kids say it's wrong to do this in a restaurant. Dear Abby, is something wrong with me that I don't want to go to the party? PG&E says possible public safety power shut off for some NorCal customers. The latest, nation's call for safe passage out of Afghanistan. Taliban sweep into Afghan capital after government collapses. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Mask mandates in Dallas and San Antonio blocked by Texas Supreme Court. Food stamp assistance sees sizable increase by Biden administration. Afghanistan collapses as Ashraf Ghani flees, U.S. scrambles to evacuate personnel. Trump calls for Biden to resign in disgrace. U.S. terror threats rises as Taliban take over Afghanistan. Inside the Beltway, media blasts Biden on Afghanistan. Vicente Gonzalez rips Biden on botched Afghanistan withdrawal. Biden under fire as Afghanistan overrun by Taliban, Ashraf Ghani flees. Diaper chin style if mask wearing doesn't cut it. Liz Cheney, Biden and Trump responsible for catastrophe in Afghanistan. The next headlines are from The Intercept. The fall of Kabul. What happened to Andrew Yang? This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Monday, August 16, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Rideshare driver gets car robbed in Wicker Park. Woman last seen in Gresham. 16-year-old wounded in West Englewood shooting. Man standing inside of restaurant shot and critically wounded in Bronzeville. Horoscope for Monday, August 16, 2021. Sky return from break with overtime win versus Storm. Tuscola's Jalen Quinn commits to Loyola. Two sisters shot, one fatally, in Belmont Central. Fire enter 6-game road trip with momentum after Stojanovic's winner. Jose Abreu moves into third on White Sox career home run list. The next headlines are from the Times of India. SC, did government ever buy or use Pegasus? Corona letter, elderly are at higher risk of infection. PM Modi fulfills promise, has ice cream with PVs and who? US approves COVID booster shots for immunocompromised people, here's all you need to know. Unveiling of Miss Diva Top 50 contestants. Things not to miss while buying home security camera. Ola versus Simple, big entrance in Escobar market. Industrial versus Ang Hive, Pankey as India try to stretch lead. Petrol bombs hurled at Meghalaya CM's house. What next for Indian hockey after the Tokyo High? You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Monday, August 16, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. This week, back to school brunch. Things to do, Nick Thune, The Secret Group, August 17, 2021. Nobody's Girl releases first full-length album. Texans get win in first action of David Culley era. Last night, the Black Rose and Dirty Honey at the Woodlands Pavilion. The next headlines are about world records making news. Teenage pilot hopes to set solo round the world record, Deutsche Welle. Arman Nayak, an 8-year-old Indian creates world record, Big News Network. Sydney records deadliest day of COVID-19 pandemic, Melbourne lockdown extended, Reuters. Para athlete seals world record for fastest crossing of Qatar on wheelchair, Doha News. Trams to offer free rides for the city on August 18 after achieving Guinness World Record, Hong Kong Standard. At more than 32,000, this McDonald's lover holds Guinness World Record for most Big Macs ever eaten, India Times. Why your old video games may be worth millions, CNN. Man bags world record for farthest backflip between horizontal bars, watch, Hindustan Times. Final Fantasy fan seeks world record with 4,000 collectibles, Screen Rant. Flug tag in Auckland, could a Kiwi break the world record for flight time, Stuff Co. NZ. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Texas Supreme Court says schools cannot require masks as COVID-19 cases skyrocket. Voice and video calls can now be end-to-end encrypted on Facebook Messenger. Hacker claims to have data on more than 100 million T-Mobile customers, asks for $277,000. War for Wakanda DLC pack explained by Marvel's Avengers game developers. What We Do in the Shadows teases Van Helsing could be Latino. James Gunn explains why Amanda Waller wanted Rick Flag on. Green Lantern director Martin Campbell is full of regret over this film. Twitter backpedals on design changes after users complain of headaches, eye strain. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Colinas do Tocantins in Brazil at 125.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 52 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 102.46 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 74.7 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. How a game about warps mining in space has helped me weather the pandemic. Strawberry Mansion, a great sci-fi premise with trippy, art house execution. Samsung has its own AI design chip. Soon, others will too. The following headlines are from Raw Story. After 20 years of dreadful mistakes, U.S. heads for exit as Taliban retakes Afghanistan. Donald Trump Jr. faces backlash for gloating over swift fall of Afghanistan, rooting against America again? Is that a MAGA hat? Taliban takeover of presidential palace carries big January 6th vibes. Trump ridiculed for resign and disgrace demand to Biden. President Kamala Harris, sounds good. Minnesota GOP party chair faces calls to resign as party is rocked by top donor scandal. HBO's John Oliver takes aim at upsettingly loud idiots prolonging the pandemic and risking kids' lives. Linwood is disgusting. Trump-loving attorney spreads anti-hospital conspiracies as GOP activist battles COVID-19. Right-wing cardinal placed on ventilator after spreading microchip conspiracies about vaccines. Enough of this man's fake news. Editorial board calls for Rudy Giuliani's disbarment. Huge mistake. Obama's defense secretary reveals Trump's tragic blunder in Afghanistan. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Want people to eat less meat? Fake burgers probably won't cut it. To put the brakes on global warming, slash methane emissions first. America's first peoples have things to teach us about taming wildfires. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. NASA wants to use moon rocks as a 3D printing material, PC Mag. When will we hear from extraterrestrials? Scientific American. What to watch Sunday, a spooky night of documentaries about serial killers, UFOs. Raleigh News and Observer. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Researchers breaking away from the central dogma of depression, stat. What is neuroplasticity? Understanding its role in a child's learning journey, Times of India. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. How technological singularity could end death and make humans immortal, interesting engineering. What does it mean to live forever, Aussie? We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Monday, August 16, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Monday, August 16, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. Newsiaid is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by Newsiaid. All rights reserved.